You have been told your whole life that fruit trees are the foundation of a serious food garden. Plant an apple tree, plant a pear tree, build an orchard, and you will never go hungry. And so people do. They dig the holes, spend the money, wait 5, 6, 7 years, and then one late frost in April wipes out every single blossom before a single piece of fruit has a chance to form. There is a smarter play. There is a whole class of food-producing plants that most gardeners walk right past at the nursery. Plants that start feeding you in year 1 or 2, shrug off the frosts that destroy orchards, and in many cases produce more calories per square foot than any fruit tree you could name. Today, we are covering 10 specific bushes, chosen on 4 hard metrics: speed to first harvest, annual yield, calorie or nutrient density, and cold hardiness. Some of these you will have heard of. Most you will not. And the one at the very end of this list is the one I am almost certain your garden is missing right now. Let's get into it. Before plant number 1, a quick note on how this list is built. We are not talking about what tastes nicest or looks prettiest. We are talking about what feeds you most reliably, most efficiently, and with the least amount of intervention. Think of these as agricultural assets. And like any asset, we care about return on investment. How fast does it pay out? How much does it produce? And how long does it keep producing? Keep that frame in mind as we go through the list. Number 1. Elderberry, the medicinal powerhouse. Before any other bush on today's list existed in a North American garden, indigenous communities across this continent were harvesting the elderberry for both food and medicine. A mature elderberry bush produces 12 to 15 pounds of berries annually starting as early as year 2 or 3. Faster than almost any fruit tree you can name. Those berries carry antioxidant levels 3 to 5 times higher than blueberries, plus a compound called sambucol that has been studied extensively for immune support. Folk medicine records documenting elderberry use go back centuries. This is a 1,000-year track record. And here is the part that surprises most people. The flowers are just as useful as the fruit. Elderflower cordial sells for $15 or more per bottle at specialty stores. You can make it at home for the cost of some sugar and water. The whole plant pays you twice. Number 2. Aronia, chokeberry, the antioxidant record holder. If I told you there was a bush with higher antioxidant levels than blueberries, acai berries, and pomegranate combined, and that it survives minus 40 degrees Celsius without losing a single branch, you would probably assume I was exaggerating. I am not. Aronia holds the highest recorded ORAC antioxidant value of any fruit measured by food scientists. Farmers across Eastern Europe have known this for decades. The Western gardening world is genuinely 20 years behind on this plant. A mature Aronia bush produces 10 to 20 pounds of berries per year, requires almost zero spraying because North American pests do not recognize it, and tolerates drought conditions once established. The raw berries are tart, which is why you process them. Juice, jam, dried powder added to smoothies. Once you sweeten them slightly, the flavor is deep and rich, almost like a concentrated dark cherry. Number 3. Honeyberry, haskap, the first fruit of the season. While your strawberries are not even flowering yet, the honeyberry is already giving you a full harvest. In many northern climates, this is the very first fresh fruit you will eat in the entire growing season, arriving 3 to 4 weeks ahead of everything else. Honeyberry flowers survive a hard frost down to minus 7 degrees Celsius without losing the crop. The late April frost that would strip your apple blossoms clean does not faze this plant at all. It is built for cold the way most plants simply are not. Newer cultivars yield 10 to 15 pounds per bush by year 5. Some honeyberry bushes in Siberia have been documented still fruiting heavily at over 50 years old. The antioxidant content is roughly 3 times that of a blueberry. You will never find these in a grocery store because the skin is too thin to survive commercial transport. The only way to eat a fresh honeyberry is to grow one yourself. Number 4. Sea buckthorn, the omega oil factory. This is the only bush on this entire list that produces an oil your body cannot make on its own and cannot easily buy anywhere. Sea buckthorn berries contain omega-7 fatty acids, one of the rarest fatty acids in any plant food on the planet. The cold-pressed oil sells at health food stores for $40 to $80 per bottle. You can grow the source plant for the cost of a $2 seedling. Beyond the omega-7, sea buckthorn contains over 190 bioactive compounds, including a vitamin C concentration that is genuinely staggering. Some varieties contain 20 times the vitamin C of an orange by weight. The plant is hardy to zone 3 and yields 15 to 25 pounds of berries per season on a mature bush. One practical note: you need both a male and a female plant to get fruit. Plant them 6 to 8 feet apart, and the male pollinates everything around it. Number 5. Gummy berry, gumi, the plant that feeds you twice. Every other plant on this list takes something from your soil. The gumi puts it back. This is a nitrogen fixer. It pulls nitrogen from the air and deposits it into the surrounding soil, effectively acting as slow-release organic fertilizer for every plant around it. And while it is doing that, it is also dropping 8 to 15 pounds of berries per year. Those berries contain 18 times the lycopene of raw tomatoes by weight, the compound linked to reduced inflammation and cellular protection. The seeds inside are edible and high in protein, so you eat the whole fruit with nothing wasted. The bush is shade-tolerant, which means you can tuck it into spaces where nothing else will grow, and it fruits early in summer when most other berries are still green, filling a gap in your harvest calendar that almost no other plant covers. Plant heavy feeders like tomatoes or squash within 10 feet of a mature gumi and watch them perform as if you fertilize them weekly. Now, if you are serious about building a system like this, where every plant supports the next one, your soil gets richer every year, and your grocery bill keeps shrinking season after season, I want to point you toward a resource that genuinely changed how I think about all of this. It is called The Self-Sufficient Backyard by Ron and Johanna Melchiorre, people who spent years living completely off-grid and documented the entire system in one place. The section on designing a food forest where the plants feed each other the way the gumi feeds its neighbors is worth the entire book on its own. Link is in the description below. Now, back to the list. Number 6. Hardy kiwi, the grape-sized surprise. The hardy kiwi produces grape-sized fruit with smooth, thin skin that you eat whole. No peeling at all. The flavor is identical to a store-bought kiwi. Many people say sweeter, but the entire experience is faster and easier. More importantly, this plant is cold-hardy to zone 4, surviving winters that would kill a conventional kiwi vine completely. Commercial kiwi cultivation requires zone 8. This variety laughs at winter zone 8 gardeners have never experienced. The yield numbers on a mature, established hardy kiwi are genuinely impressive. 50 to 100 pounds of fruit per season once the plant hits its stride around year 4 or 5. The no peeling factor means processing speed is roughly 3 times faster than conventional kiwi. You need a male and female plant, same as the sea buckthorn. Once you have both, the system runs itself. Number 7. Serviceberry, Saskatoon, the original survival food. This berry kept entire civilizations alive through brutal winters before refrigeration existed. Serviceberries were a primary ingredient in pemmican, the survival ration used by indigenous peoples and fur traders across North America for centuries. Dried meat, rendered fat, and dried serviceberries, shelf-stable for years without any preservation technology. Not months, years. The reason it stores so well is the sugar content. Serviceberries are roughly 25% sugar by weight when ripe, making them excellent for drying into concentrated energy cakes. A well-established multi-stem serviceberry bush produces 15 to 30 pounds of berries per year over an extended harvest window of several weeks, giving you a rolling harvest rather than one overwhelming glut. The plant is drought-tolerant once established, grows in partial shade, and is one of the most disease-resistant food-producing plants in North American horticulture. The flavor has a subtle almond note from the small seeds, which become pleasantly nutty when dried or cooked. This is a serious calorie crop with a 1,000-year track record of keeping people alive. Number 8. Autumn olive, the controversial superfood. The USDA declared this plant a noxious weed and actively discourages planting it in many states. Nutritional researchers have published papers calling it one of the most valuable food plants in North America. Both of those things are true, and the tension between them is exactly why this plant belongs on this list. Autumn olive produces berries containing 17 times the lycopene of raw tomatoes by weight. It is also a prolific nitrogen fixer, enriching surrounding soil the same way the gumi does, but at an even larger scale. A mature shrub can produce 20 to 50 pounds of fruit per season. The berries, when fully ripe, are sweet and pleasant with a slight tartness. Nothing like the astringency that catches people who pick them too early. The controversy is legitimate and worth understanding. In certain regions, autumn olive has spread aggressively beyond cultivated areas. If you are in a region where it is classified as invasive, grow it in a contained system or avoid it altogether, and check your local regulations. But if it is manageable where you are, the nutritional output is genuinely difficult to match. The government wants you to remove it. The data on what it contains tells a more complicated story. Number 9. Jostaberry, the thorn-free hybrid. The jostaberry is a cross between the black currant and the gooseberry, engineered to fix both plants' biggest problems: the currant's vulnerability to white pine blister rust, and the gooseberry's thorns vicious enough to make harvesting genuinely unpleasant. The result is immune to the rust, has 0 thorns, and produces fruit roughly 3 times the size of a black currant. You fill a harvesting bucket in a fraction of the time. The flavor starts tart like a gooseberry and ripens into the deep, rich complexity of a black currant. Excellent for jams, wines, and preserves. A mature bush reaches 5 to 6 feet and produces 10 to 15 pounds of berries annually for 20 years or more with minimal intervention. It tolerates partial shade better than most fruiting plants. And because it is largely unknown in North America, there are almost no local pests or diseases that target it. Set it in the ground, and it largely runs itself for 2 decades. Before we get to number 10, a quick mention for those building not just a food garden, but a full self-sufficiency system. Several plants on today's list, elderberry, honeyberry, sea buckthorn, have serious medicinal profiles. If reducing your dependence on the pharmacy appeals to you the same way these bushes reduce dependence on the grocery store, the Medicinal Garden Kit is a curated selection of medicinal herb seeds, with a complete guide on what each one does and how to grow it alongside your food plants. Link is in the description, right next to the self-sufficient backyard. Now, number 10. Che, mandarin melon berry, the Western world's best-kept secret. There is a plant from East Asia that produces fruit described as a cross between a fig, a mulberry, and a watermelon. Cold-hardy to Zone 5. Self-fertile, meaning you only need one plant to get fruit. Virtually 0 pest pressure in North America because nothing here has evolved to eat it. Up to 40 pounds of fruit per season on a mature plant. And almost nobody growing food in the Western world has ever planted one. The plant is called the che, also known as the mandarin melon berry. The fruit looks like a red mulberry but tastes nothing like one. It is sweet, almost honeyed, with a melting texture that is genuinely unlike anything most Western gardeners have encountered. The calorie density is comparable to figs, which puts it in rare company among fresh fruit. It requires minimal pruning, tolerates a range of soils, and once established asks almost nothing from you in return for a generous annual harvest. The harvest window stretches over several weeks rather than arriving all at once. The leaves can be dried and brewed as a tea. Every part of this plant contributes something. The reason it is last on this list is because it is the answer to the question I asked in the very first 30 seconds. The one your garden is probably missing. Not because it is the hardest to grow, because almost no one has told you it exists. That is the full list. 10 bushes, all of them outperforming fruit trees on the metrics that actually matter. Speed to first harvest, annual yield, calorie density, cold resilience, and maintenance load. Pick 2 from this list. Just 2 that work for your climate zone and your available space. Get them in the ground this season. In 3 years, you will look back at the fruit trees you almost planted instead and wonder what you were thinking. The Self-Sufficient Backyard and the Medicinal Garden Kit are both in the description. Subscribe for the companion video. We are going to map out exactly how to sequence. And space these 10 bushes so they feed you from the first frost thaw all the way through to late autumn without a single gap in your harvest calendar. I will see you in that one.